Hi, I'm Joel Reedy, an attorney at Cornerstone Law Firm. Tonight, I want to give you 5 legal tips for starting your own construction business. Every entrepreneur can tell you that starting a business is extremely stressful, a lot of details you have to master, and obviously the legal things can feel really intimidating. So I'm hoping these 5 tips will help you to feel really comfortable as you start your business. The first tip is to form an LLC and to get sufficient insurance. So I guess you could say that's 2 tips, but I believe these are 2 sides of the same coin. Starting a limited liability company will protect you and your personal assets, such as your home, your cars, and other things, from mistakes you might make on the job or from other problems you have with customers where they maybe sue you and say you didn't fulfill a project properly. Having that peace of mind to know that your personal assets and your family assets are safe from business mistakes is really nice, even if you're not making business mistakes. It's just a nice thing to know. Insurance is really important for that reason also. To some extent, you can really do one or the other. I mean, some people will just get insurance on their business even without forming a company, but I think that's a mistake. I think doing both of these is going to make you sleep better at night. An insurance company is going to help you to figure out how to do things properly to some extent. They're going to have suggestions and tips for you to follow, but also they're going to cover you in the event of a loss. It's not just if you make a mistake, by the way. It's also if somebody claims that you made a mistake. Having insurance, if you have good insurance, they should also pay for your attorney in the event that you're sued or a loss is claimed against you, because it's actually their money that would be lost if you did. So having that insurance is really important. Second tip that I have for you is to make sure that you register with the Attorney General in your state. Now, here in Pennsylvania, it is the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You might check with your state. They may have a specific agency for that. But every state has somewhere that they want contractors to register to say that you're going to be doing work in that state as a licensed contractor. You'll see these numbers, and maybe you already have one. You'll see them on advertisements for contractors. Most states require that it be in your advertisement. It'll say, PA number 1765, et cetera, et cetera. That's really important because it allows you to have credibility with your customers, but it also protects you. In many states, not having that number is actually a minor criminal thing. So you want to make sure that you have a contractor number and that you're properly registered to do business in the state. My third tip that I want to give you tonight is that it's important to draft a contract. Now, you may be the kind of person that you say, my word is my bond, I like handshake deals, I like looking people in the eye and telling them what I intend to do, and that's great. But having a written contract form that you can use over and over again is going to save you a world of hassle and headache. And let me tell you, even in the early days when you're desperate for clients, you're going to find very quickly that people who are not willing to sign a contract are exactly the kind of customers that you do not want. Having a written contract is going to save you a lot of trouble. Now let me say this. Some states have a specific contract you have to use, or to put it a little differently, there are certain things you have to have in your contract. Pennsylvania is one of those states, by the way. If you're here in Pennsylvania, the Home Improvement Consumer Protection Act governs your contract, and you have to have specific things in it. Things you might not guess, by the way. In fact, the HICPA contract, as we call it here in Pennsylvania, it's at least a couple of pages long by the time you put in there everything they want. So make sure that you're complying with your state laws. That brings me to a fourth and similar point, which is learn to love change orders. And what am I talking about? So change orders are when somebody says, hey, I signed a contract, I reached a deal with you, I want to change it. I said I wanted you to build a deck and I wanted stairs to go down and wrap around the thing, and now that I'm realizing how much it's going to cost or whatever, I don't want to do it, I do want to do it. Maybe they expand the scope of work, you're doing such a great job on the deck, I want you to put in the patio below it as well, whatever. A change order is really important because this is going to be a written document that documents the change in the contract. Again, don't just rely on people's word. It's not just, by the way, that people are dishonest. Some people are, but it's also that people don't always realize what they're getting into until they put ink to paper. There's something about sitting down and looking over a written piece of paper and signing it that makes people a little more serious about the job that you're performing for them. It also avoids misunderstandings. Sometimes you say, yeah, that's fine, I'll put in that patio, and you don't realize that they're no longer thinking about supplying materials that they were talking about 2 months before when you first talked about it. Sitting down, writing it out, having both people sign it avoids a world of pain. So learn to love change orders, learn to use them routinely. At the very least, you want to make sure that you follow up those conversations with an email. If you don't do a change order, maybe you want to follow it up with an email. But in many states, it's actually required that you follow certain formalities with that contract. So learn to love change orders and learn to use them. Fifth and finally is kind of a more obscure thing. learn a little bit about your state laws on mechanics liens. Now, a mechanics lien sounds like we're talking about an auto body shop or something, but in most states, a mechanics lien is a function where you can put a lien on someone's house or building that you've been working on if they stop paying the bill. This means that they actually can't sell their house until they pay you off. It's an incredibly powerful tool. States typically require it be filed within a certain amount of time after you stop work. It's a very strict set of requirements. It's definitely not the type of thing you want to try to do on your own. You'll want to hire a lawyer when you get into that level of dispute with somebody. However, understanding how a mechanics lien works will really help you to understand the degree to which you have the upper hand as a contractor if push comes to shove on a dispute. So I said I had 5 tips for you. I'm going to give you one more. And it's really not an official tip. Develop a relationship with a local lawyer. Obviously, we help contractors here in Pennsylvania, but no matter where you are, it's really important that you get to know your local lawyer, somebody that you can call and ask a quick question of. I think a lot of times people feel like a lawyer is going to be stuffy or it's going to be really expensive to deal with. And I'm amazed by how many people call my office finally sweating over something that's been keeping them up for weeks, and I can answer their question in a few minutes and develop a relationship with them, and they're amazed that if they'd called me a few weeks before, they would be getting better sleep that whole time. Developing a relationship with a local lawyer will really help you over time to ask quick questions, shoot quick emails, and say, hey, can I do this? Can I not do that? Can you look over this change somebody wants me to make? That sort of relationship is really valuable. I hope that this video has helped you, and I hope this will be helpful to give you some tips. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to call our office. I'll be happy to help if I can.